And now to try to figure out how a city transforms itself. Well, remember that I said 2 slides ago that the S-shaped curve is a natural phenomenon. It's the most widespread type of pattern in natural systems and social systems too. That it's the same. Social systems are part of nature, as I already said, and as we know. But how this transformation happens, given all these complexities and all these feedbacks and all these interests and conflicts and ideas and all that? Well, it happens by essentially by trial and error. You have projects that work more or less. Those who work more are more successful, provide more solutions for people. But in terms of an abstract description of the entire thing, you can look at this diagram that I made, in which we can see several stages of the city, and this is the city of the past, the city in transformation, and the city of the future, like simple titles. Now, if you look at the arrows, like they are red ones, and the stars there, I'm trying to illustrate there where the cities are. You see, most of the cities are crowded in the initiation. You have pioneer projects, interesting news, but very limited success, no real impact in terms of sustainability and transition to sustainability. Most cities are about there. Globally, because there are also some of the cities that are better, we are at some sort of phase of adjustment, but still in preparation, still like city of the past according to what we should be. This means that there are some follow-ups to the initial projects, there are new hopes, but also big deceptions, and there is no critical mass developed yet to do this change. But then something happens. Some solutions begin to catch, and change begins to happen, and the more it happens, the more it accelerates. And some of the cities of the world, the so-called eco-cities, that is, cities in transformation to accommodate for the needs related to our planet, are in this phase of building momentum. But there is a critical moment that we didn't reach yet. This inflection point that I illustrate with red and green there, which we need to cross. That would be the tipping point for us to say, hey, we're closer to sustainability than more away from it. And for that we need holistic solutions. We need tools that can help to build up momentum so that this dynamic of change self-maintains. So you see, now I'm already talking in terms of complex systems, non-linear dynamics. What I would like to highlight here is that there are two important thresholds defining this evolution. And the progress and the effort are related to that. Basically, at the beginning, in the preparation phase, city of the past, the progress is slow, or maybe nothing, no progress, even though the effort might be a lot. But then, after you cross what it is called here innovability threshold, meaning that the city managed to absorb enough intelligence and enough coherence between its components that it can reconfigure its structure and function so as to transform itself towards something better. And that's, once you manage to do that, that's the innovability threshold. And okay, I think we should say that research, science, universities and education, and young people especially, and anyone young in heart, have a big contribution here to cross this innovability threshold, make our systems more capable of becoming something better. But that is not enough yet. This threshold has been crossed in some cities in the world, but we may still fail. We still need these solutions to cross that sustainability threshold, which means the threshold where we are in equilibrium with the planet. We don't consume more of the planet that the planet can regenerate. When you reach that phase of refinement and maturity, that we would say, okay, we are the future now. We achieved the transition to sustainability. Work to be done, work in progress, hopefully. Now, we have to understand what is the situation now before we achieve this more desirable future. The situation now, and you may remember this from our live introduction as well, is that any community is embedded in an economic system, which itself is embedded in a social system, which itself is embedded in an ecological system. Which means that an ecological system can exist without a social system of ours. But ours, we cannot exist without the ecological system. This is why it is called the nested inclusion. And this has consequences for how things work in system, the direction of it. The situation is that people are much more concerned with immediate needs. So their priorities start with the economic aspect, then social, and then environmental. But the needs of sustainability are the opposite. So this conflict still exists. And the situation is that we are blocked in these unsustainable situations. Any of it. At least one of the filters is missed basically all the time. I'm talking about the sustainability filters that you see here on the bottom. And progress is blocked. We don't have any perspective of reaching that inflection point. Citizens, they are lost in a deluge of information. If science is not integrated, how could citizens do something about it? And experts are isolated by the narrow specialization. So we need a better dialogue between people and science, again, to create these solutions. And let me put it on the table for you. It's your role to do that. This conflict of priorities and massive loss of opportunities mean, in terms of human aspects, what you already see now. We are overcrowding the planet. Everybody wants to develop, to be rich. But because of the limits and the conflicts that we have among us and the complexity of the system and all that, don't believe it's just financial. Financial are just a symptom of the situation of the entire system. It's part of it, but it's not the whole story. Then we are in a situation of unemployment, jobless graduates, so a lot of skills are wasted lives and so on. In terms of community, we have a loss of resilience, we have problems that become weak, harder, tougher to solve, and crises that are converging. So we are basically going in the wrong direction. That's the human aspect of it. In terms of business, the main problem is the volume of and diversity and heterogeneity, complexity of data that they accumulate, and they need to integrate it. But it's hard. Okay, they have computing capacity, including big companies. They have experience. They have really the means to deal with a lot of stuff that individual people don't. But still, they have the problem of integration of knowledge. Why? Well, if the science didn't integrate knowledge, who could? Business again. So it's the same story at the level of business. This is just another way to show that also at this level of business we have the same problem of need for holistic solutions.